Welcome everyone to SM College Football today. Waz June 23 is not currently here today right now. Not feeling so good last night. So sorry about that. Poor video. But we have a lot to talk about today on SM College Football today. I need to pull up. So guys, something we did add recently is what do they call that thing these days? A watermark, I think they call it. Okay. So let's recap up the games on Thursday and on Friday. It's Thursday night. Houston taking on Cincinnati. A very, very close game in the fourth quarter. It was Cincinnati up 16-12. Houston scoring 4 touchdowns after that to win it 40-16. Let's move on. Friday, Baylor and Rice. Rice trying to avoid dropping to 0-3. Baylor wins at 38-10. Rice 0-3. Baylor 3-0. Utah State beats Arkansas State 34-20. And a really close call. Arizona State pulls it off over UTSA 32-28. But today, some of the featured games, we've got Florida State and Louisville. We've got, where is it? Oregon, Nebraska, Alabama, Ole Miss, as well as our nightcaps. Ohio State, Oklahoma, Michigan State, Notre Dame, USC, Stanford. A lot of games with huge impact on the college football playoff tonight. There you go. So last week, I gotta pull up some stuff from last week. So last week, the big headlines. Let me see here. Central Michigan over Oklahoma State. Pittsburgh, that win. Tennessee over Virginia Tech. The blowout, the Hawkeyes over the Cyclones. Arkansas winning it in double overtime against TCU. And then it was pretty much straightforward from there. Also, UConn couldn't get off enough plays. Navy pulls off that win. Cincinnati beat Purdue. What an upset that was. And they came pretty close to beating Houston. I'm perfect on my picks so far. But I can guarantee you I'm going to get at least one wrong today on our show. But let's move on. We want to get as much time Our shout outs this week, Watcher 23 couldn't make it. He has shout outs on his channel. We are doing shout outs on our channel during this show. And on our other show. So yeah, the watermark is there. It's our red logo, as you see. Well, you don't see our red logo. But our shout outs, I guess, we don't really have many to shout out right now. Welcome everyone into the stream. Oh, I should invite YG23 right now. I'm gonna invite him. There we go. He's been invited. To join our show. He'll be getting a shout out. Thank you to everyone watching right now. But anyway, it's in college football today continues. So our shout outs, Ugblood 22, I think. Well, he didn't ask for a shout out, but we're giving him one. I don't even remember his name. I could look it up. I'll look it up right now. I'm not gonna put it in the description. Yes, UGABLA 22. Okay, I'm gonna show you an image. So he sent in some comments. This is his most recent one. I'm gonna put that up on stream. Let's see how I do that right here. I don't know if YG23 is gonna join. He's on the line. So it says start a rap battle. Obviously, I'm not gonna start a rap battle, but nice comment. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. You know, I'm not putting it in the description. I'm just giving them a shout out. Thanks for leaving a comment. You get it. Obviously, Watcher 23. He's not on the show currently. He might be on the tail end of the show. But I'm gonna pull up our logo again. Here we go. There we go. Remove the with was part. There we go. When he joins, I'll put it back. Everyone on Essence College Football. So again, right, back on track. what players to make an impact today in our Heisman Watch? We're flying through the show. So, again, the shout-out rules. Shout-outs are happening in the live stream. Leave a comment in any video to be entered. Okay. So, Heisman Watch. Who's going to win the Heisman? I think it's going to be. So, yeah, again, our schedule. Our Heisman Watch. Again, Florida State, Louisville, huge Heisman contenders in that game. Another one. Alabama, Ole Miss could be Heisman contenders. And then you got Christian McCaffrey tonight. Spartans, Irish, Oklahoma could have some Heisman players. Just a lot of really good games today. And we're proud to bring them to you. And we'll be picking all the games for you, so you don't have to do all the work. We're helping you. We're not gonna. We always wait till the final 10 minutes to make our picks. Um, but anyone that wants to be on the show, we're letting viewers be on the show this next week for week number 4. And that's one that's huge for, especially for, we've gotten a lot of division games, conference games, but you want to be tuned in next week. Again, next week we'll have our show as normal. But what player do I think will be the most impactful of the day? I don't know. We're gonna have to go with the Alabama defense. There's just not one player to go with. The whole Alabama defense is gonna have to make a huge impact because they want it. Ole Miss has taken the game a couple of years in a row. You can't lose another one against Ole Miss today. So, Ole Miss has beaten Alabama the last 2 years, but unable to make college football playoff or even the SEC championship either of the years. How can they change that this year? Not just by beating Alabama, but later in the season. Well, they really need to beat Mississippi State this year. Mississippi State, much better than they were last year. Can't lose to teams like Auburn or Florida. Florida was the team that stopped them last year from making that championship game. Again. So let's move on. Week 2. So we're moving on to the pick'em side of things. So I'm going to bring it up on the screen. We're going to review last week's picks. Week 1, week 2 right here. Again, Wallace Jr., 23. Really in despair this week, not even joining our show. He doesn't join the show in the next 10 minutes. He's disqualified for the week currently. So he did not make his picks on these games. He only made the pick on Cincinnati. But I'm perfect. It's 4-0 right now. I've already got these games picked. There were some games that I just dominated him. He made a lot of mistakes on these games. I did too. But really, just the overall, I made a lot of mistakes on in the last one. This is where the most mistakes were made. The last hour. I can't let that happen to me this week. So it's 19-15 last week, and then 9-20 the week before. I'm on my way up. So let's make our picks. So I'm taking Louisville. They're a much better team than Florida. They're at home. Florida State might be able to pull off the win, but I think Louisville, home field, they're against a huge team that they really want to beat. North Dakota State and Iowa. I'm taking the Hawkeyes. I think the Iowa Hawkeyes can pull off this win over North Dakota State. It's not going to be too big of a challenge after last week. In annihilation, North Dakota State might have the edge of some fans over in the West, but Iowa, after what we saw last week, I think can win this game. So I'm taking Miami over Appalachian State. Just because Appalachian State, not a big Power 5 team. They did get close to Tennessee, but Miami's a whole other story than Tennessee. Iowa State, TCU. I'm going to go with the Frogs. Both teams, Iowa State was just obliterated last week. Like, they did not perform. But TCU lost one really close that they really should have won against a team it's not as good as them. But Iowa State lost to a team that was way better than them by an up. It was huge. It's just purely a blowout. Temple, Penn State. I'm going Penn State because Penn State just has a better team than Temple. Quickly, Wisconsin, Georgia State. Pretty straightforward Wisconsin. I don't know who chose these colors for Wisconsin, but it was me. Like, who chooses gray for Wisconsin? Like, since when was Wisconsin gray? Tennessee over Ohio because Ohio just not performing. It's a long trip for Tennessee. Tennessee getting the momentum from last week. I think they're going to pull off that win over. So you got Colorado against Michigan. Again, this is another great game. I'm going with Michigan. Just because Colorado is just not as good as they pull off the upset, but Michigan, my favorite on my standards. We'll save Alabama, Ole Miss for later. But Pittsburgh, Oklahoma State getting a very cheap win, a cheap loss. I'm gonna go with them. I think they're gonna pull this one off. And I just ruined things. We're coming to your room. I really need to start making these picks. Oklahoma State. So Oregon, Nebraska. I'm just gonna use the blue for the rest of them. Oregon, Nebraska. I'm gonna go with Oregon because I'm gonna go with Nebraska actually. Nebraska. I'm feeling. I think last year they came to a lot of close games. They won their bowl game. Boston College, Virginia Tech. Can't lose 2 in a row for the Hokies. Aggies against Kentucky. Easy ones here. These are just put on here to fill some space. And to see if someone was willing to take the sleeper. I'm not. Ole Miss, Alabama. Which we will get to after I make a couple of these picks. Mississippi State, LSU. I'm going to go with LSU. I think they're very underrated. I'm going to go with A&M over Auburn. A&M really showing that they can play with the big dogs. Now we're going to take Alabama, Ole Miss. Oh, this is a real big one. Do I take Ole Miss? Do I take Alabama? This is a real toughie. I'm going to go Ole Miss. I know that I said Alabama was going to need the win, but Ole Miss needs it more. Oh my goodness. Sweep still control. J Car, you're here. You showed up. Why'd you show up?
What is it?
J Car, who's gonna win? Ohio State or Oklahoma? Remember, the poll is up. I'm gonna vote in that poll right now.
Is winning.
Vote in that poll.
What color is it?
I'm gonna vote right now for that poll. Feeling it. J Car. I gotta vote in the poll. I'm voting Ohio State. Oklahoma, Ohio State, IDC. I'm gonna go. I'm not telling you who I voted for. That's what pick I'm making. If you're watching the stream, that's how you're gonna know. I'm just gonna keep the poll up. Okay, so we're gonna leave this for last. Move on to these ones right down here. UCLA, BYU. I think it's really UCLA in urgency mode here. This is huge for UCLA. You can't lose another one. Texas Cal. The big dogs. I think, last year, if you remember, we had a real good one. It came down to a missed point after, I think Cal won. But they're going to win a game against Texas. And let's move on to our final three games. Our final two. Let's start with USC and Stanford. So, Christian McCaffrey, Stanford, USC, very unexperienced at that standard. I'm going to go with Stanford. So, our stream is about to end right here after we get done with these picks. Now the final two games. Notre Dame, Michigan State. How good does it get? But I'm going to go Notre Dame. I think it's going to come down to it. I think Mike Tirico is going to have the call on that one. I don't know. Do I go Michigan State? Let's go Michigan State, no upset. It's not really an upset, but I think Michigan State is deserving of this. Our final game. Oklahoma, Ohio State. Put it in the poll. My answer. I don't know if you guys have found that yet. This one's worth 2 points. Extra important. I'm going the Sooners. Get those Buckeyes out of here. The Sooners over the Buckeyes. In that one. The Sooners losing in week 1 to Houston. They're not losing in week 3. Have a great day, everyone. That'll do it for the stream, everyone at our studio. Thanks you for watching SN College Football today. Week number 3. See you next week for week 4. Remember to leave a comment down below.